Hey, what's up guys, Glock9 here, and welcome to my second Q&A video. I've got some Cold War Zombies gameplay in the background while I answer your questions from my Ask Me Anything video, which got like 3,500 comments in 24 hours, so I'm not going to get to every question, maybe like 30 of them, but if I don't answer your question, thank you for still participating, and I hope you still enjoy the video. Now, I want to answer a few questions up front that were asked by many of you. And the first one is, can we get a face reveal? Sure. There I am right there. Here I am again, with the big-ass afro and Christmas beard looking like a degenerate Bob Ross. And there I am again, looking all spiffy. Don't I clean up nice? Look, it's no secret to what it is I look like. If you follow me on Instagram or Twitter, I do post pictures of myself fairly often. But another question that comes along with that one is, will you do a face cam in your videos? And the answer to that is no. It's not really my style, and I don't think it would add anything to my videos. As a matter of fact, I think it would take away from them because of my editing style, and I just don't think it would work. It's not something I want to do. But if we do live streams in the future, then of course I will do a face cam because one, there's no editing in a live stream, and two, it's live. So we're there hanging out together. It just makes sense. But anyway, let's get into these questions now. Do you have any other hobbies besides gaming? Yes, music being my biggest one. I love to play the guitar, but I also love making music using programs like Fruity Loops or GarageBand. Matter of fact, I made all of the outros that you hear at the end of my videos. And besides music, I also like to draw, and I'm really getting into botany right now because I want to start my own garden. Did anything almost make you quit in the beginning? Yes. If you know the history of my channel, you know that I used to be called PSVR Gamer. I started this channel to focus mainly on VR, but I just wasn't enjoying it. The content was doing alright. I just wasn't enjoying VR as much as I thought I would, and I almost quit. But a friend of mine, shout out to my friend Jason, said to me, hey man, look, your 7 Days to Die content is getting more views than anything else. Why don't you just focus on that game? So that's what I did. I rebranded as Glock9 and started focusing mainly on 7 Days to Die. So if you're at a point in your life where you want to quit something, just take a moment and think about it and ask yourself, is there something I can change about what I'm doing to make this experience better? New Jersey question here. What's your take on Taylor Ham? Well, Taylor Ham is a brand, and they make a product called pork roll. So if you want a delicious breakfast sandwich, you order a pork roll, egg, and cheese. If someone orders a Taylor Ham, egg, and cheese, that person is a fucking moron. South Jerseyans are going to be pissed at me for that one. When you were young, did you ever dream of making a career of gaming? Yes, I did. But when I was young, esports didn't exist and YouTube didn't exist. So the only way to really make a career of gaming was to develop one or work for a developer. Or you could possibly be a gaming journalist, you know, play the new games and then write about them in a gaming magazine like Game Informer, which I thought I could do that job because I really like to write. But I never really pursued that career, and life happens, you know what I mean? But here I am now, gaming, making a decent living on YouTube, and I couldn't be happier. So sometimes the things you want to do in life don't happen when you want them to happen, but if you don't give up, you'll always have a chance. What's the sketchiest thing you've seen living in New Jersey? Man, there's a lot. But the one thing that always comes to mind is this house party I went to. I mentioned it in a video before. I don't remember which series or episode it was, but dude, me and my friends went to this house party. We were actually like the first ones to show up. We thought it was going to be a dud. We hung out for a little bit, but then all of a sudden more people showed up. Then more people showed up, and more and more. It was at this girl's house. Her parents weren't home, of course. And by the end of this party, just before the cops showed up, people were leaving with fucking TVs and shit. And I'm talking like analog TVs, like the big heavy ones. People were just walking out with her shit. Dude, there were cigarette butts put out on the carpet. Her house was a complete and utter fucking disaster. I mean, you might as well at that point just burn the whole fucking house down and collect the insurance money. God knows this girl is probably still punished to this day. So if you're young and your parents are out of town, regardless if you live in New Jersey or not, but definitely if you live in New Jersey, don't have a fucking house party. When starting out, what editing recording equipment would you recommend? Also, when going about editing, do you just cut all dead time or do you have a specific way to edit your commentary? Well, in terms of editing, I've been using iMovie forever, so I can't really recommend any other software. Unless you have a Mac, then use iMovie. It's a really simple, easy to use program. It works really well. However, there are limitations there. Now, if I was to switch over to PC for editing, which I might do in the future, I would go for either Vegas Pro or Adobe Premiere. I've heard good things about both of those pieces of software. However, they're both fairly expensive. Now, in terms of recording, I would recommend OBS. That's what I use. It works great, and it's free, so how could you go wrong? Now, to answer your other question, when you go about editing, do you cut all dead time, or do you have a specific way to edit? Yes, I have a specific way to edit. I've been doing it for so long, I'm actually editing in my mind as I'm playing and recording. I know what I'm going to cut out, what I'm going to speed up, what I'm going to keep in the video. I'm figuring that all out as I'm playing. It just happens naturally. So I guess what I'm saying is practice makes perfect, right? The more you do it, the better you'll get. Now, about the dead time, I wouldn't just cut out all dead time when you're not talking, especially if you're doing something that's important to the gameplay, whether it be looting or mining or even driving from one location to another. You just want to chop it down. You want to edit it in such a way that it goes by quickly for the audience, but still shows them what it is you're doing. So maybe take 3 minutes of drive time and cut that down to like 20 or 25 seconds, throw in some background music. And this way, for the audience, the video continues to flow. Your videos must have flow. That's the most important thing when editing any kind of video. If your video doesn't flow well, the audience will get bored and click away. Are you going to be doing a modded series like Darkness Falls or simple mods in the future? And what's your stance in modding games in general? Well, yes, I do plan on jumping back into Darkness Falls or maybe another complete overhaul mod. Even though I do love the vanilla version of the game. So really, like you said, all you need is some simple mods, some additional POIs, and maybe some additional new zombies, and I think you're good to go. Now, where do I stand on modding games in general? I think it's fucking awesome. A great modder can give a game a whole new life. So if there's a mod that you really enjoy and you play a lot, you should find out who created it and support that person in any way you can. Are we ever going to get a series where you create a base from the ground up? Yes, the one I'm doing right now, Nightmare. Episode 1 just dropped on Friday, so if you missed it, go check it out. I'll leave a link for it down in the section below. And yes, in that series, I'm going to be creating my base from scratch. How do you find the best songs on YouTube Studios? I looked at it and all I found was trash. Well, you got to do more than look at it. I literally spend hours combing through that shit, and whenever I find something that I like, I save it to my computer, and I'll put it in a specific folder. So if it's a song that I think would work well for driving, or for building, or for fighting a horde, then I put that piece of music into that specific folder, and then I go through that shit at a later time, or when I'm looking for a piece of music. So that's what it takes to find good music on YouTube Studios. Hours of research. Would you rather eyebrows that move around your face independently or to leave a trail of paprika everywhere you go? Well, I've got 2 questions for you, David. What drugs are you on, and did you bring enough for the rest of the class? When is Alpha 19 coming to console? Never. It's never coming to console. The current console version is never going to be updated, so stop asking, stop making petitions and trying to get people to sign it so the Fun Pimps will update the current console version. It's never going to happen. And I don't mean to be a dick, but if you just do a little bit of research, you can find out all of this information. The Fun Pimps are PC developers. They made a business deal with another company, Telltale, to publish their game to console. Now, unfortunately, Telltale made some bad business decisions and went bankrupt. The Fun Pimps literally had to sue them to get the rights back to their game on console, but they did, and they won that lawsuit. So they finally do have the rights to the console version of their game back. However, the current plan is to finish the game on PC first, and then they will look into another company that can port the finished game to the next-gen consoles. So that's the current plan. I don't know how long it's going to take. Could be a year, could be 2 years. I don't know, but once I know more information, I'll definitely share it with you guys. Will you play DayZ? Yes, I'm actually playing it right now, just getting into it and learning the basics of the game, and I'll be bringing gameplay to the channel very soon. I was wondering how many and what kinds of firearms do you own? I own 3 pistols and 2 shotguns. I have a Glock 21, which is a .45 caliber. I have a Beretta M9, which is a 9mm, and I have a Colt 1911, which again is .45 caliber. And then for the shotguns, I have a Browning Satori over and under, which I shoot clay pigeons with. It's a 12 gauge. And I also have a 12 gauge Mossberg Mariner, a little shorty pump that I keep in a safe in my closet. And at night, I unlock the safe and I put some shells into the magazine tube, just in case, God forbid, someone wants to break into my house at night. Hopefully the racking of the shotgun is enough to send them out the same way they came in. If not, then I've got some #1 buck for their ass. I would love some YouTube growth advice from you. Well, first, let me explain what growth is, because I think a lot of people have a misconception of that word. If you gain 100 subscribers in a month, and then the next month you gain 100 subscribers, is that growth? No, it's not. You've just maintained. So just gaining subscribers is not growth. If you want growth, you always have to be doing better than you did the month before, and that's very hard to do. Because YouTube, just like many other businesses, has its ups and its downs. But if you want to be successful, you should be focused on growth as you are. And if you want to grow, the first place you need to look is at your own content and judge it harshly. If you think your content's great, look again. Because I don't think my content's great. I'm the biggest critic of my own shit, as I should be. I'm always trying to improve and be better. And in my opinion, that's the only thing that's going to give you growth, is making really good content. And unfortunately, the truth of the matter is not everyone's going to be able to make really good content. It's hard to produce good gameplay along with intriguing commentary. It's not easy to do, but the more you do it, the better you'll get, as long as you're focused on continuously improving. So stick with it and work really hard. And another thing is, you need to start building a community on social media. Because if you don't have a community to share your videos with, they're not going to go anywhere, especially if you're new to the game. Like if you just create a YouTube channel and put out your first video, even if it's the best video ever made, it's going to get 5 views. And all 5 views are going to be you checking to see if your video got any views. And that's just the way it is if you don't market your video. So focus on building a community on social media first. Interact with a whole bunch of people, talk to people, make friends. This way, when you do post a video, you at least have a small community to market that video to. So maybe instead of 5 views, you'll get 50 or 100, and then you build from there. So I'm going to stop rambling on this question. It's probably my longest answer of the video, but I hope at least it helped a little bit. Will you show this question in the video? Yeah, sure. Why the fuck not? Do you like sandwiches? If so, what's your favorite? Well, of course I fucking like sandwiches. Who doesn't like sandwiches? What's my favorite? There's a place called Pasquale's Pizzeria. They have 3 locations. One in Middletown, New Jersey, one in Staten Island, and one in Brooklyn. I don't know where the ones in Staten Island and Brooklyn are. I've only been to the one in Middletown. But this guy makes a chicken parm sandwich you can't even believe. Do you know what a garlic knot is? If you don't, go find a place that makes garlic knots. It's basically like a breadstick made into a knot that's seasoned with a shit ton of garlic. They're delicious. Well, this guy makes giant garlic knots, cuts them in half, and uses that as the bun for a chicken parm sandwich. It's the best sandwich I've ever had in my life. With having a family and a career, how do you keep everything balanced while consistently putting out content? Well, every day, I always make a plan for the next day. I lay out all the things that I want to or need to accomplish. And then I work hard to achieve those things. It doesn't always work out, but most of the time it does. And I always make sure to set aside time for my family. And it's pretty easy to do. As long as you practice mindfulness, as long as you're always there in the moment while you're doing whatever it is you're doing. A lot of people always say there's not enough time in the day. There's plenty of time. Just learn to manage it better. How come you only do 7 Days to Die content? Do you feel like any other videos won't do as well, or do you just enjoy playing 7 Days to Die? What are you talking about? For Christ's sake, I'm playing Call of Duty right now. Just a week ago, I played Call of Duty Zombies, I've played Teardown, I've played Scum, I've played Grounded, I've played Myst Survival, I've played Green Hell, I've played House Flipper. What else have I played? Scrap Mechanic, I've played Raft. So I've played a bunch of different games on the channel, and they've all done pretty well. Shit, my Scum videos all have over 100,000 views. But yes, I do enjoy making content for 7 Days to Die the most right now. Why is it damn near impossible to make a left turn on a small New Jersey highway or road? What is up with those large hook-off ramps that you have to take just to cross the road instead of making a left turn? Those are called jug handles. And they're not on roads, they're only on the highway. And yes, you have to make a right in order to go left. You can't just turn left on a highway in New Jersey. You have to get in the right lane, go through the light, take the jug handle around, wait at another light, and then you can cross the highway that way. And yeah, it's a little inconvenient, but it's definitely a safer way to cross a highway. Maybe that's why they did it. Too many head-on collisions? I don't know the history there, but that is true. You have to make a right in order to go left in New Jersey. Matter of fact, I used to cut the grass on those jug handles up and down Highway 35 and 36 when I used to work for Middletown Township. Do you think young people should get a real job before trying to be a YouTube mogul, or just jump right into YouTube and try to make it a living? This is a really great question. And yes, I definitely think you should go out into the real world and get a job before trying to jump in YouTube and make it big. Now, granted, there are a lot of young kids on YouTube doing very well. So there are going to be some kids who just naturally have what it takes to jump right in and do well. But my suggestion would be get a job where you talk to people a lot, whether it's in retail or customer service or something like that. This way you can practice your communication skills, because that's one of the biggest skills you're going to need if you want to be a YouTuber. You like spaghetti? Yeah, but only mom's spaghetti. Here's another food one. On pizza, is pineapple considered acceptable? Yeah, sure, do whatever the fuck you want. You know, don't listen to other people. Just because someone else doesn't like something doesn't mean you won't like it. Try it. If you like it, great. If you don't, then don't have it anymore. I was never one to tell someone else what to do or what not to do. I mean, for Christ's sake, put dog shit on your pizza if you want. Just don't offer me any of it. Now, these next questions, again, are questions that were asked by many different people. And the first one is, will you ever do a multiplayer series? Maybe. It definitely wouldn't be a consecutive series like I do now, day 1, day 2, day 3, etc. It would probably be more of like one-off episodes. Maybe something like Base Invaders, where me and a few others invade other people's bases that they set up on their server or something. I don't know, it's just an idea that I thought of. It would probably work better as a live stream, though, than it would a recorded episode. So it's something I'm thinking of and something that may happen in the future. I'm just not sure yet. And the other question is, are you going to do more collabs with other YouTubers? Well, I might actually be in talks with one right now. I'm not going to say any names yet. Vertigo. Excuse me. Because nothing's written in stone. But we are talking about it, and something might be coming pretty soon. I'm a professor of chemistry, thus, what is your nugget of wisdom you think I should tell my students before we break for the holidays? I would tell them this. We humans share 60% of our genetic code with a banana. 60% of our genetic code we share with a banana. If you had $100 and I took 60%, you'd be pissed. Why? Because 60% is a lot. And we share that much of our genetic code with a motherfucking banana. How much do you think we share with each other? You know, we only have to go back about 3,000 years, which is about 100 generations or so, to find a common ancestor to everyone alive on Earth today. So 3,000 years ago, we all had the same cousin. We're all related, folks. We're all connected, whether you believe it or not, or whether you like it or not. It's true. So try to be as kind to a stranger as you would be to someone in your family, because there's really no difference there. We humans share 99.9% of our genetic code with each other. If you had $100 and I took 99.9%, you'd have nothing left. And if we don't start treating each other as the brothers and sisters that we are, we're not going to have anything left either. And on that note, I think I'll go ahead and end this video here. Guys, thank you so much for submitting your questions, and thank you so much for watching this video. In terms of the gameplay, I do pull off a successful exfil at round 16, so I'll skip ahead to that round so you can see it if you want to. And otherwise, guys, again, thank you so much for watching and all the support. It really does mean a lot. You guys can follow me on Instagram or Twitter. It's at Glock9Gamer. I follow all gamers back. Stick around for more, and I will catch you guys in the next video.
Requiem, strike team is ready for extraction. Over.
Chopper inbound for extraction. Get to the LZ before the window closes.
Monkey bomb away.
Too many hostiles down there, strike team. Can't proceed with extraction.
They cannot touch me.
We're clear. Proceeding with exfil. I got him, Requiem. Heading to zone perimeter. We're coming home.